Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this lesson is really very important. So 10 secrets how to reach an advanced level, okay? So thanks a lot for your support, for likes, shares and comments. So it's really very important, okay? I like it a lot, okay? And so are you ready? I hope so. So I'm absolutely delighted to see you. Okay, I'm absolutely delighted to see you means that I'm really glad to see you. I'm really glad to see you. I'm so lucky that you found time for our conversation. I really want to have an advanced level in English, and I want to do it as soon as possible. It means very quickly, or I think it's a normal wish. Okay, thank you. You just need to know a special technique how to do it. So there are 10 secrets which really work. Okay, good. You make me feel so interested. So you make me feel so interested. It means that it's very interesting for me, and it's because of you. Okay, what's your English level? It's between elementary and intermediate. So not elementary and not intermediate, between these levels. Okay, I see. Would you like to have an advanced level? Okay, would you like to have an advanced level? Well, honestly, it means that I want to be honest, so it's what I think. I don't really know. I just want to speak English well, and I understand other people. It's what I really want to happen in my life. Want to happen, it means that I really want it in my life. I really want it in my life, yeah? So I got your point, or I understood your idea. I understood your point. So get means understand, and point means idea. I understood your idea. Thanks for your perfect explanation. So perfect, very good. So you explained it very well, and you said it very well, and I understand it very well too, very clearly. I really look up to your enthusiasm and zeal. Okay, look up to means that I really admire it. I really admire it. So that's great. That's great that you have this enthusiasm, that you are so enthusiastic, and zeal, your energy. So your energy, okay? So, but there is an obstacle. There is an obstacle which you might not see. Obstacle means problem or difficulty. Problem or difficulty which you might not see. Okay? So, yeah, so there is a problem, and maybe you don't understand that there is this problem, or that this problem exists. Okay? What are you talking about? Well, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. It means that I'll say it as it is, or I'll say it directly. Okay? So the first secret is that you need to have a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. I mean an advanced level, yeah? So the secret is very simple. So you need to have this aim, okay? So the first secret is that you need to have an aim, right? So I mean to achieve, okay? To achieve an advanced level, so you need to have this aim first of all, and what? And as I said, and a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. So you need to have this aim. So if you don't have this aim, so you won't achieve it. So okay, it's the first secret. It's the first secret to have this aim. It's so important. So please set an aim and work out a clear strategy. So work out or have a clear strategy. It's in the first place. If you don't have it, you are likely to get stuck. So you're likely to, it means that I think that you'll get stuck, yeah? So it can really happen. It can get stuck, it means that you will stop and you won't have, won't means will not, you won't have this level, and it's a sad fact, not very unpleasant thing, okay? So you'll get stuck, you'll stop, so it's the most important thing, okay? Well, I see. I have this aim now, and what should I do next? What other things or what other steps should I take? Yeah, we say take steps. So second, focus on vocabulary. Can you answer one simple question? What's the main difference between an upper intermediate student and an advanced student? Really, do you know the difference between, the main difference between these two levels? Do you know it? So it's grammar? Grammar? No, it's vocabulary. So try to have a very rich vocabulary like native speakers have. Not just like native speakers, okay? Just like educated native speakers have, okay? Anything else? Sure. We can't deny the fact. So it means that this fact so really exists, and we can't say that it isn't so. Yeah, so it's really true that many students are able to read, but they are terrible at speaking and understanding native speakers. Okay, so really, so many students can read, yeah, maybe they know some grammar, but they are terrible at, it means they're very bad at speaking, so they can't speak, so their speaking skills aren't good enough, they're terrible, and they can't understand. It's, you know, it's a real problem, and so they feel very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable situation, okay? So, and so the next points are the following. So you need to speak English daily and listen to it a lot. Please speak English every day. Please do it. So you think, okay, I can't do it, so I don't know friends who can speak English. No problem. Find these friends. Where can I find it? So you can think online. So there are so many websites where you can find it. It isn't a problem nowadays. It isn't a problem. Please do it. So find a friend or friends and, you know, practice English with them and listen to it a lot. So listen to English speech a lot, okay? How much should I listen? 1 or 2 hours? Why is it so little? You can do it all day while being occupied with other things. Really, it's little. 1 or 2 hours, it's good, but not good enough for good progress, okay? So you need to get this level fast, just listen more, okay? So when you do other things, you can listen, yeah, to English speech. So next, very important thing, and so read a lot and have a plan. So the second part of the sentence is very important. Read a lot and have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? Very important thing. So have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? And I'll give you an example from my life. Yeah. So you know, when I really wanted to improve my English, I read 100 pages a day in English. Yeah. And I felt great progress. Yeah. So 100 pages a day in English, yes, and I felt great progress. So be a fast reader, okay? And you can say, oh, it seems incredible, so it means that it's difficult to believe it, I can't believe it. And then you can add, oh, I don't have so much time, and I will answer, it's little time. If you train, train these skills, you need to train these skills. And you know, lots of English words, yeah, we talked about it earlier. So you can read 50 pages a day and very easily. Yeah, very easily. You can read 50 pages an hour very easily. Really, if you read a lot, if you have the skill, and if you know all these words, no problem. No problem. So it's very easy. Okay? And please also train your reading skills. It's so important. Okay? And it's a real challenge for me. I mean, it's really difficult for me. It's a real challenge for me, but I'll try to improve these skills. So I'll try to improve these reading skills. Yeah, I really hope we are on the right way, but let me continue. Let me continue. So what is 6? Start preparing for some international exams. So have you ever thought about it? Really, have you ever thought about it? You just, okay, maybe you think, okay, I need to learn English, so I have some books, textbooks, and so, but just think differently. Really, think differently. Start preparing for some international exams and find them. So know some information about them, and it's a great challenge. So I mean, it's a great challenge. It's really difficult, but it's so useful. So it can help you a lot. And thanks to it, really thanks to it or because of it, you'll be constantly measuring your level and judging about it objectively. So constantly means all the time. Measuring, it means that you'll see your level. You'll see your level. So yeah, so the problem is that actually, if you look at this situation, you can think, oh, maybe my level is high, maybe my level is low, and you don't know it, yeah? But I mean that just do some, some papers, we call it sample papers. So look at this exam, so do some papers about reading, grammar, listening, and see your real level, okay? And judging about it objectively, not subjectively, but objectively. So you really need to understand what your level is, so you can see it, then you learn English very hard, and then you'll get back to it after some time, and you'll see your level again, so you'll see improvement. So if you have it, so it's so important. And do sample papers, or we also call it past papers. Sample papers, past papers. So just an example of this exam. And see your strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, I mean that it's minuses. Maybe it's where you have problems, okay? So maybe you have problems in reading, but you don't know about it. Maybe you have problems in writing, but you don't know about it. And work on them. So try to improve them. Okay, very good, really very good. And I can name such popular international exams such as PET, yeah, FCE, CE, IELTS, TOEFL, and others. So when you prepare for an exam, it's another feeling. So you work several times more effectively. Just have a look at them. So do some papers and see your level. Okay, good. So this information is very valuable for me. Okay, if so, I'm so lucky. And I need to look at these exams and see my level. So what a good idea. So you can start with something simple like PET, yeah? So it's very simple. It's lower intermediate level. So FCE is upper intermediate level. Okay, so CE is a really difficult exam. It's for advanced students, but it's also good, yeah? You can improve your skills greatly. So as for IELTS and TOEFL, these exams are for all levels. And, I actually started with these two ones, and then there are some other exams for business English like BEC, so business English certificate, and it can really help, yeah, improve your skills and see your level. So right, look at learning English from another angle, or from another side. So don't think traditionally. Yeah, think traditionally, but you need to know other methods, other concepts, other ideas, which are very effective, which are so effective so that you can't really imagine, okay? And learn English more than one time a day. You should do it at least twice, 2 times, And the best thing is to start thinking in English, really start thinking in English when you do other things. Okay, so maybe you can think in your language, okay, but yeah, translate it from your language into English, and then you'll be able to think only in English without translation. So please train this skill. And two more important tips. So read more magazines and articles. Read more magazines and articles, not only simple sources. It's a problem. So we talked about your vocabulary, but please read more magazines and articles. So they are full of words, phrases, which which we see in modern English. So please, you need to learn modern English, yeah, modern English, not old-fashioned English in the book. So magazines and articles. So this way. And so 10, learn other tips how to learn English on the channel. English professionally. So you need to learn other tips too. And so don't forget to focus on phrasal verbs too. It's a very important thing. So, phrasal verbs, yeah, it's a big problem, but it only seems that it's a big problem. In fact, it's a small problem, and I hope that you know it, yeah? Okay, so thank you very much, my friends. So we can continue this playlist if you support this idea. Thanks a lot. See you. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally. And this course is very important and special, this video course, how to think in English. Really, it's very important to think in English if you want to speak English really well, if you want to speak English fluently, and this video is about it, so I think that you like this video. Okay, really good. Okay, so you know that welcome, yeah, to the channel English Professionally. So you see, you can also join us on Facebook, yeah, so our new group, yeah, which is growing. And you see that thanks a lot for your support, yeah, thanks a lot, really, thanks a lot for support, thanks for comments, thanks for your likes and shares here, I mean on YouTube and on Facebook too. Okay, thanks a lot, yeah, really, thanks for your help. And this video is extremely important. It's about the secrets, how to think in English. Yeah, it's about some secrets, so some things which can help you start thinking in English. So it's very important. It's extremely important. Okay, so watch all the video, stay with us, and I really hope that you'll enjoy it, you'll like this video. Thanks for likes and shares. Okay, good. Well, so really, how to think in English? How can you answer this question? Okay, please look, answer this question. So without any preposition, here, so no preposition. Okay, answer this question. So students often make this mistake. Please answer this question. Please remember this phrase. Can you answer this question? I think different answers are possible. For example, yeah, the first answer or the first possible answer. It's impossible. Yeah, that's it. It's the first possible answer. So it means that some people think that, okay, it's impossible to think in English for everyone. So they think that only advanced students can do it. I mean, students who have a very high level of English, yeah? And the second answer, you see, it's really possible if you live in England or America, yeah, it's funny, or if you were born in an English-speaking country, or if you were born in an English-speaking country, so you can do it, okay? So if you live, for a long time in England, America, Australia, yeah, or another English-speaking country, or if you were born there, okay? So if you lived there when you were a child. So, and you see, two typical answers to this question. So typical, so what is typical? Okay, so you need to know different synonyms or similar words. So if you can't maybe remember this word typical, what other words can you say instead? So you can say typical, or also common, yeah, or also common, or also popular, yeah, answer, and we say answers to this question. Good. So you see two typical or two common, two popular answers to this question, these two answers. So yeah, the first one, it's impossible, and the second one, it's possible, yeah, but there are some conditions. So you need to actually so maybe you lived, yeah, in an English-speaking country for a long time, or maybe you were born there. So what is next? Yeah, and the question is, yeah, at the same time, it's a good phrase for speaking, and you can use it in your English speaking practice. So at the same time, the question remains the same. So remains means the question is the same. So we haven't answered it. We haven't answered it yet. So it's the same, yeah? So is it possible? Is it possible to think in English? Is it possible to think in English if you don't live in an English-speaking country, okay? So if you don't live, let's say, in America or in England, so is it possible or not? So students often think that it's impossible. So if I don't live in an English-speaking country, so I won't think in English. Want means will not. It's a short term, but it's wrong. So I believe it's possible. So watch all this video, and you can, express your point of view in the comments below, or in our group, yeah, on Facebook. So you can leave a message there, personal message or private message, as we call it, yeah, or in the comments, so that other people can see it as well. And from my experience, so a very nice phrase for speaking, yeah? From my experience, I can tell that it's possible, really, it's possible to think in English, even though you don't live in an English-speaking country. So when I speak English, or when I think in English, I don't translate from Russian into English. So you know that Russian is my mother tongue. Russian is my mother tongue, so it means that I was born in Russia. Yeah, so it isn't a secret. Yeah, so when I speak English, or when I think in English, I don't translate from Russian into English, yeah? So I speak automatically without translation. So only English words, only English phrases in my head. So I do it in English immediately, so I think it isn't bad, and you'll agree with me, right? Good. So you also need to understand what advantages it can give you, or what pluses, advantages or pluses or good things it can give you. Why is it so important? Why is it so important to think in English? I can name the following advantages, or I can name these advantages. So the following means these advantages, the main ones. So what is the main? It means most important. So it means very important or most important. So this you really need to know. So it saves time. So really, that's true. It means that's right. So you can speak English very fast and naturally. If you can think in English, yeah, it saves time. You can speak English very fast and naturally. So when you speak English, second, when you speak English fast, it's comfortable for you and for your partner. It's very comfortable, yeah? So, and your speaking partner doesn't need to wait for you, so it's good. So you gain great confidence. So gain means get. So you get or you have great confidence. It means that you believe in yourself. You believe in yourself. You think, oh, I can think in English. So it's really good. You know, it's like having wings and you're flying in the sky. Yeah, it's like having wings and you're flying in the sky. So you see, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah, so it's a new level. It's a new level. It's a very big step forward, and it helps you to have this confidence. What is confidence? It means that you are sure, so that you're sure that your English is good, you believe in yourself, so it's a very positive feeling. Next, so you are very confident. So you know that confidence helps you to break down the language barrier. So you can say to break down the language barrier or to overcome the language barrier. I mean, it's this kind of situation. So maybe you know English, maybe you know some grammar, vocabulary, but you can't speak. You are afraid of speaking, yeah, and you want, to start speaking, yeah, without any fear, yeah, so not being afraid, and so you need confidence. So, and it will help you to break down the language barrier, or it will help you to overcome the language barrier, okay? So what recommendations, yeah, can I give, or what advice? So you can ask, so what recommendations can I give, or what advice can I give? So I don't use any sources. So what is sources? It means different materials. So any materials or books or other ideas, yeah, or other ideas, okay? So I just use my own life experience, okay? So my own means my personal life experience, really, and I can tell you this from my own life experience, okay? So the first very important thing, study English regularly and systematically. So what is regularly? It means that you study it, for example, every day for an hour or for 2 hours, but you do it every day. So what is systematically? It means that you have a program, you have a plan, so that some students, so for example, only read, some students only study grammar, but some students only watch movies, but it isn't enough. You need to have a program, so you need to do all these things. So you need to read in English, you need to listen a lot in English, so you need to watch English videos, you need to write, and so on, okay? Do it every day. It's difficult, yeah, it's difficult to find time for it, okay? It's difficult to find time for it, and it's a very common excuse. So what is excuse? It's a very common excuse, or it's a very common thing, okay? So people often say, okay, so I have no time, or I don't have time, yeah, okay, later, next time, yeah? But I think that if you really want it, you will find time for it. You will find time for it, yeah? And so if you have no time at all, yeah, it's possible to do it anyway. So, okay, you have no time, or you have little free time, but it isn't a problem. So what if you have no time at all? It's possible to do it anyway. So what do you need for it? What's in the first place? So what's in the first place? What can help you do it? It's motivation. Yeah, something which motivates you. you need to have a clear aim, yeah, or a reason, a clear aim and also a reason why you need to study English so hard. So really, why do you need it? Why do you need it? So maybe you have this picture in your mind, yeah, this very clear picture in your mind that I need to improve my English greatly because, you know, it can help me to find a better job where I'll get more money, and I need to do it urgently as soon as possible, and it's a very good motivation, okay? So, or it can be another reason, but you need to have motivation, okay? So, and when you have no time, you can start thinking in English a bit. It means a little. So when you walk, yeah, so I also do it. So, you know, I think in English, so it's, you know, it's a habit for me. And you also, you know, that, so when you go somewhere, yeah, when you go to some place, so you can translate all your ideas. So, you know, from your first language or from your mother tongue into English. And you can do it little, just some words, phrases, then more difficult words, more difficult phrases, and you know, then it will be very natural for you, yeah, and you'll see good progress. What's very, very important, yeah? So when you walk, when you go from one place to another, so really you can make up different phrases and sentences in English in your mind. It's very important. It's, I think, what you need to do. For example, if your mother tongue is Russian, you can translate your thoughts from Russian into English. You can translate from Russian into English or from Spanish into English. Yeah, so from your first language into English. So it's a very good practice. It's a very good practice. You know, it's really difficult to translate everything, but you can start with separate words. It means with some words, not sentences, with separate words, phrases, and sentences. So not, you know, not a long speech only in English. Just start with something simple, with something easy for you, okay? So first you try. So first you try to translate some words and so on. You know, for example, yeah, you went out and you see a tree and you can think, okay, tree, car, house, yeah, some, you know, basic things, some basic objects, then more difficult things, yeah, then more difficult things, okay? For example, so I need to go there, so I need to call him, so okay, so what will I do tomorrow, and so on. So you think in English, yeah, simple things in your head. So, you know, it's very good when you practice English during the day. So practice can be a noun, practice, so English practice, and a verb, practice English. When you practice English during the day, when you have this English speaking practice during the day, so in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So if you do it even from time to time, it means even sometimes, I think it will bring perfect results, very good results. Is that all? So no, it isn't. So what else can we do? So what other things can we do? So the second very important thing, okay? Listen to English speech as much as possible. So listen to English speech every day. So, and I think it's a very good idea to watch these kind of videos on this channel, English Professionally, so you can see the text at the same time, so you see it with your eyes and you can listen. You can listen to it. It's very important. So yeah, so listen to English speech as much as possible. The problem is the same, okay? no free time at all. If so, please don't give up. So don't stop. Don't panic. Don't feel depressed. So don't think that it isn't for you. Don't think it's impossible. Yeah, really, it's possible to solve this problem, or it's possible to find a solution to this problem. So you can do different things and listen to something in English as a background. Yeah? So what does it mean? It means that maybe you do some housework, yeah? And you know that you can play this video, and you will listen to it. Yeah, you'll catch some words, phrases, and so on. So you need to do it. Yeah. So you might think it's a crazy idea. So you might think it's a very good speaking phrase. It means maybe you think, or maybe you will think, it's a crazy idea. Yeah, but it really works. It means it really helps. You can see it with your own eyes as soon as you do it. As soon as you do it, yeah? So you know that we use present simple after as soon as. So you can see it with your own eyes as soon as you do it. So you just need to start doing it and you see the result. Yeah, listen to something simple, basic, so good for level, not very difficult. So very simple things, okay? Very simple English conversations, topics for beginners. So we have a lot of information on our channel. So English professionally, I did it and it really helped me. I'll be more precise. So it means that I'll be more exact, or I'll give you more details. Okay? For instance, very nice phrase for speaking. So you can say for example or for instance. It means, for example, I was working very hard. So from home, I was working very hard from home for about 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours. Yeah, I worked from home. So I was staying at home and I was working almost all day, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so if I remember it correctly. And I was listening to the English radio. So as a background, and my English level was quite high. Yeah, so I was doing it for 2 years. I mean, from 4 to 7 hours of listening practice daily. Yeah, it's a very important thing to study regularly and systematically. We talked about it, and I could see the results almost immediately. But I didn't want to stop. Yeah, I wanted more and more progress. It was fantastic. So it was unbelievable. So it was unimaginable. So it was something very special. Yeah, it was such a pleasant feeling. So I remember these days, months, and years with a feeling of nostalgia. It means with a very pleasant feeling. Yeah. So okay. So it really helped me. So if your level isn't advanced, yeah, please don't get depressed. So don't give up. Okay. Don't give up. So you can start, so if your level is upper intermediate or higher, so you can listen to the radio or you can watch these kind of videos, yeah, for more, advanced students. So if your level is lower, let's say beginner, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, so I think it's a good idea, to watch videos like this one on this channel, English Professionally, because you can, listen and see the text. It's the first thing. And the second thing is that you need to read and listen to adapted books written by native speakers, which are for different levels, so beginners, elementary, and pre-intermediate. So it's a very important, thing for your English progress. So, and everything is all right. So you see, okay, so you can start with simple videos. You can watch and you can listen to different videos on this channel as a background. So please have a look at our playlists. We have different playlists on English grammar, on English speaking, yeah, on English words. And so if you support this idea, if you said, okay, so we'll create very effective playlists, yeah, so from the first lesson, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, for different levels. So it's a good idea if you think so, and you can have a look at different playlists and start listening to different videos. It's some kind of English galaxy. It's galaxy for English learners, but the name of our channel is English professionally. So we try to be very professional. Yeah, not just basics of English. So very advanced things, and things for intermediate students as well. And so what is English professionally? It's a huge virtual video library. So yeah, of a very high quality. So you can see lots of interesting videos, not just videos but video courses, yeah, on different topics. And it's the mission of this channel, yeah, I mean, so that everyone actually can learn English for free and fast, okay, with the help of this video. So I mean, at some kind of revolution in education. And I really hope you'll learn English very fast, and you'll start thinking in English as soon as possible. Just start with something simple, yeah, so just translate some basic words, phrases, but try to do it regularly. And I think that so it will help you a lot. And I'd like to thank you also, I mean, a lot for your great support. So and so let's meet, and you can meet Jan actually on Facebook too. I mean, Jan, you can follow our channel, and it's really good that our community is growing. So you can write your, I mean, you can leave your comments. So I try to read all your comments, and I'm sure that I need this feedback, and all these comments help me make, I mean, these lessons, this English for you, better and better. Thanks a lot for likes and shares. Okay, so I'm so happy, yeah, that I have this opportunity to share my knowledge with you. I'm really so happy. But my main aim is to make you learn English fast and effectively, okay? So let's do it, okay? So let's actually change the idea of, of effective learning, okay? So let's do it fast. And really, okay, thanks a lot. So, okay, I have no more words, just feelings. Thanks a lot. See you. Thanks for the support. Bye. Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is very important for your speaking, yeah? It's called How to Think in English Rightly. So really it's very important to think in English rightly, okay? So it means that many people think in English, but they do it wrongly, and they don't have a good result. Okay, so really, I've come to the conclusion that I need to think in English to improve it, yeah, to make it better, greatly, and in a short period of time. In a short period of time means soon as possible. That sounds great, or it's a good idea. I also believe, or I also think that we need to think in English to make rapid progress in English. Rapid means fast, to make a rapid progress in English, but this phrase is very natural. Rapid progress in English. What worries you? Yeah, the structure is correct. So what worries you? So what's the problem? What worries you? Frankly, or honestly, I try to think in English, but I'm not quite sure. It means that I'm not really sure that I do everything correctly, or I do everything rightly. Really, how to think in English rightly? What can you advise, or what can you recommend? Well, to answer this question, I need more information to understand how you do it. No problem. I'll give you more details or more information. So to be frank, or to be honest, I don't have much time and I usually think in English 20 minutes a day. Sometimes it can be more. I try to translate my thoughts from my mother tongue into English. Yeah, from my own language into English. We say translate from one language into another one. So I try to use simple phrases. I feel real progress. So good progress or real progress. Is it what you want to hear from me? Okay, so is it this information? Excellent. Thank you. I got your point. I see it's your great dream to speak English fluently. So it's a great dream, you really want it, yeah, to speak English fluently. And you try to use more advanced and effective methods. More advanced means better and modern methods and effective methods which really work. But I can tell you one thing directly. Or I'll be straight. I'll tell you one thing directly. What is it? You need to think in English rightly or correctly. I try to think in English, what's wrong? So what's wrong or what's the problem? What you do has nothing to do with highly effective methods of learning English. So what you do, it means it's not about effective. It has nothing to do with, it means it's not about, or it isn't about highly effective or very effective methods of learning English. So it isn't effective. It isn't so effective. Okay, so you make progress. Yeah, I would say you make progress. And we won't deny it. So we won't say, no, okay, you don't make progress, it's bad. No, we won't say it. But it's 10% of what you can do. So, you know, maximum is 100% and it's 10% of what you can do. Okay? You know, I feel great progress and that's enough for me. I have a limited amount of free time. It means that I don't have much free time. Obviously, or clearly, I can't learn English all day and think in English all day. Please understand that I have so many cares, duties and responsibilities. Okay? It means that you have a lot of things which you need to do, really. You can't even imagine it. I have so many things to do. Yeah? A nice phrase. So you can say, I have so many things to do, or so many things which I need to do. So a nice phrase, things to do, okay? We can say, I have a lot of things to do, I have so many things to do, which I need to do, really, so many that you can't imagine. Okay, so don't take it close to your heart. Don't take it close to your heart. It means don't worry, relax, it's okay. I generally understand all these things take place in your life. I generally understand means I really understand, so I truly understand. All these things take place, it means they exist in our life. So they happen, these things exist in our life, it's true. I just want you to pay attention to a couple of facts. Yeah, I just want you to pay attention. Pay attention means that I just want you to look at or pay attention to a couple of facts. Couple of means two facts which can help you improve your English greatly and reach new heights. New heights means reach a new level, so a more advanced level. Okay? Okay, I'm listening to you. Please be serious and don't be skeptical. Don't be skeptical means, okay, don't think it's bad. So first of all, you need to listen to this information and then you'll decide whether it's bad or good, okay? So many people look for this information, they try to find it, and they are ready to pay a great deal of money. A great deal of money means lots of money. But they can't find it, they can't find this information, okay? Can I continue? Yes, please. There are several big problems. There are some big problems, but the main problem is that you don't think in English. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You just translate. Is it bad? Not bad, but not perfect. So it means but not very good. Okay, not excellent. Your task is to be able to think only in English. So to be able to think, it means that you need to think only in English. You should try to do it only English. So without your mother tongue, okay? Good. How should I think in English? Can you describe it? Okay. Can you describe it? It means actually how does it happen? How does it happen? Okay. So what you have is the following. So you have this thing, yeah? So for example, you see a car and first you have this idea in your mind, in your mother tongue, so in your own language, and then you translate and you do it all the time. So first you say it in your mother tongue, you translate into English and you do it all the time. Okay? So you do it all the time. So, and as you understand, it isn't so good. It isn't so good. Right. You know, it's a good speaking practice. It's good, not bad, not terrible, yeah. But it can't be called thinking in English. It can't be called, yes. It's passive voice. It can't be called thinking in English. No. When you see something, you need to have this word only in English at once. It means immediately. So you see a car and you have this idea in English. Okay, so I see a car, this is a car, or something like that. So without translation. It's a very important thing. Really? Certainly. Or means of course. Let me add one more thing. It means that I want to add one more thing. When you have some ideas in your head, you need to have them only in English, without translation. This practice can be called thinking in English rightly. But that's not all. Let me finish, okay? I understand. How can I achieve it? So how can I get it? What else do I need to do? As I understand, yeah, or as I see, you choose a certain time or during the day and try to think in English. But in fact, it isn't so effective. I mean that you choose just one interval, yeah? So split your day or divide your day, yeah? A certain time. Just split your day or divide your day into several parts, into some parts or intervals. So what I mean is that it's better to think in English. It's better to think maybe for 5 minutes. But when you do it more regularly, yeah, so you know, just you say 20 minutes, yeah, just one time a day, it isn't enough. It isn't enough. So you need to do it more regularly. Okay, so isn't it too much? Isn't it too much? So when you do it more regularly, I think if you want more progress, it's okay. So don't miss every opportunity to think in English. So in other words, you need to take every opportunity to think in English. Well, I'll try. I see your confusion. And what worries you? So confusion, it means that you feel confused. So I'll try, but maybe you still don't understand how you can do it. You still have problems, and you feel worried. So what worries you? I'll answer your question. You are worried that you'll be only translating and using your mother tongue too. You can't do it only in English, right? You read my thoughts. It means that you really understand what I think. You read me like an open book. So everything is clear. So I have some ideas in my mind, and everything is clear for you. Everything is clear for you. Please continue. Yeah, nice phrases. Oh, please continue, okay? I feel that you know my problem is better than me, and most importantly, it means, and the most important thing is that you have a clear idea how I can solve it. Okay, so how can I solve it? So what I can do? Okay, your main problem is that you don't do it regularly. You need to do it as often as possible, so regularly. So as regularly as you can, and you need to translate first. Yeah. So you asked me about translation, and it isn't bad you need to translate first. It's the first step. When will I be able to think only in English? It's possible if you have lots of daily and hourly translation practice. So you need to have lots of daily practice. It means every day, and hourly. It means every hour, but maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but every hour translation practice. If you can't think in English, it means that you need more regular practice, that you don't have enough practice. So you have practice, but little practice, not enough practice, okay? Only this way. More practice, daily and hourly translation practice. Only this way. And there is one more thing that can't be left unnoticed, that can't be ignored, So I know that people often fail to notice it, but we need to pay attention to this fact, okay? So what is it? Okay, what is it? Most students think in English, but they use very unnatural phrases, very unnatural, not really good. And so native speakers don't, speak this way. And clumsy sentences. Clumsy means also unnatural. So they think that it's right. Maybe other people will understand, but it isn't correct. So it isn't. It isn't spoken this way in America or England. Okay. So you need to think like a native speaker. It's the next level, the next step. Okay. So how can I get this skill? You can acquire this skill, or you can get this skill after the first 2 steps. To have it, you need to improve your English in general and have an advanced level in English. Otherwise, you'll be thinking in English while speaking unnaturally and making lots of mistakes in grammar and vocabulary which are not so evident. Really. So students make lots of mistakes, and the problem is that they don't realize that they make these mistakes. So you need to have an advanced level. So try to improve your level in general. So we have lots of video courses, which can really help you. And the next thing, you need to try to think in English, and you need to have this practice so as often as you can. Okay, so thank you very much, my friends. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Okay, thank you for your support. Thank you. See you. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video is called How to Learn 20,000 English Words and More. Okay, so thank you very much for your support, likes and shares. So really, let's talk about this very important subject. Okay, are you ready? I hope so. So really, why are you so sure that I need to know 20,000 English words or more? Really, so it's a good question. Why? Why are you so sure? So why do you really think so? Well, I suppose you misunderstood me a little. It means that I suppose, or I think you didn't understand me correctly, or you didn't understand me rightly. So misunderstood. You understood it another way, okay? So no way am I going to tell you this. No way, it means that I don't want to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you this. So, and we use no way to make this sentence sound stronger. So no way, and then you use the opposite word order, okay? So normally we say I am, but if we have this structure, no way, we use the opposite word order, am I. We call it inversion. So no way am I going to tell you this. So this lesson, is for all students. I mean, this information is very useful for all students, but actually the language in this lesson is mostly for intermediate students and higher, okay? So good. So no way am I going to tell you this. No, I'm not going to tell you this. No, okay? So the most important point is that, or the most important thing is that it depends on your, we say depends on, it depends on your aims, needs, purposes and demands, okay? So you know that aims and purposes, actually they are similar, very similar words, okay? So aims, needs, purposes and demands, it depends on what you want, okay? So maybe you don't need actually these 20,000 English words, who knows, okay? Anyway, it's like but, anyway, or but, if you really want to have a strong advanced level, so very good advanced level, you need it. Yeah, really, you need to know 20,000 English words or more, just I think so. Okay, and I can tell you that I suppose I know about 2 or 3,000 English words. So about means that I'm not sure, maybe 2,100, maybe 2,800, I'm not sure. Okay, so 2 or 3,000 English words, and I feel 2 things at the same time. 2 things, okay? So the first feeling is that it isn't so little. Yeah, it isn't so little. Yeah, 2 or 3,000 English words. And the second feeling is that it isn't enough to understand real English speech. Really, it isn't enough. Yeah, it's good, but it isn't enough. Yeah, really. Okay, so my friend, you are absolutely right. It means that you are right, and I'm sure you are right. Okay, I'll be very sincere and straightforward with you. Okay, what is sincere? It means very open, very open. So I'm actually telling you what I think, yeah? And straightforward, it means that I will say it directly. So I will tell you how I feel, I will tell you how I think. So I'll be sincere, I'll be open, and I'll be straightforward. I'll tell you these things directly, so as I understand it, as I see it, okay? Or with you, why you need to know such a large number of words, okay? So you know that there are also very effective methods of learning English words, yeah, so that they remain in your memory forever. So that, yeah, a nice phrase. So it means that you want them to be in your memory forever. So you say to stay or to be or remain in your memory forever. So I mean that you can learn English words, yeah. So you can learn maybe 20,000 English words, 10,000, 30,000 English words. But I have a question for you. How long will you be able to remember these words? So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So we have another method, we have another idea. So you need to remember it. And all these words will be in your memory for all your life, forever. So it's another thing, so it's more difficult, but it's what you need. Okay? By the way, let's discuss it. As it's often said, step by step. So as it's often said, it's passive voice, as people often say, so step by step. So we'll talk about the first thing, the second thing, the third thing, and so on. And I expect to hear something special. Just maybe you can tell me something like that. So I expect to hear something special, or I hope, I think I'll hear something special and extremely useful. Yeah, expect to hear something special and extremely useful. It means very, very useful information, so which you really need. Okay, good. Sure, it means of course. Unfortunately, so it's a very sad fact, it's a pity, it's a very disappointing fact. Most students learn English ineffectively, so they don't learn it effectively. It's a very sad fact. It's a very sad story, and we can't deny it. We can't say no, that's not true. Okay, as a consequence or as a result, you can say as a consequence or as a result, they get stuck, so they stop, so they can't go on. Yes, they stuck. And I've got accustomed to listening to things like that. So I've got accustomed to it means that, so I often actually hear things like that, and so it's normal for me. So I've got accustomed to, or I've got used to something, to doing something, okay, to things like that. So it's a normal thing for me, yeah. So and I often actually have to listen to these things, the things like that. Oh, I'll never be able to learn English. So be able, we use it in the future instead of can. So can in the future is will be able, I'll never be able to learn English, so I can't learn English. English isn't for me, and I'm just wasting time trying to learn it. So it means that, okay, so English is too difficult and it's not for me, so wasting time. So I have time, maybe I tried to learn English but I don't have a result, so I need to stop. So I'm wasting time, so it's stupid trying to learn it. Okay, so it's a real pity. It means it's a sad thing, it's a very disappointing thing, and it's often considered, you can say it's often considered, it's passive voice, or it's often said. People often say, so people often consider it, that we need to come to terms with this fact. So come to terms, yeah, it's another nice phrase. Actually, it means that we need to accept. So you can say come to terms or accept the fact. Yes, and accept this harsh reality. So come to terms, yeah, it's a nice phrase. I think it's mostly for advanced speakers. Actually, it's very nice, yeah, if someone uses these phrases, someone knows this phrase. So come to terms with this fact, so we need to accept this fact, we need just to leave it as it is and accept this harsh reality. So reality, so which isn't so good, which isn't so pleasant, so unpleasant thing, so bad thing. So it's a real thing, but it's a bad thing, okay? And so it means that it's often considered, so people often want actually just to have it. They don't want to change anything, yeah, just it's this idea in short. And as far as I'm concerned, or as for me, I have a completely different point of view on this issue. It means that I have a different idea. I have a very, very different idea, so I think differently on this issue or on this, matter, on this subject, okay? So I believe, really, I believe everyone can reach a strong advanced level in English. Everyone, absolutely everyone, and learn 20,000 English words or more. If you learn English really effectively, yeah, it's possible. And this thing, yeah, is regardless of race. So what is regardless of race, nationality, age, income, social status, and other factors? It means that it doesn't depend. It's a nice phrase, regardless of something, yeah? It doesn't depend on these things. It's no matter. So no matter, so what your nationality is, no matter how old you are, so no matter what your income is, it doesn't matter at all. So it doesn't matter, okay? So it's possible to reach this level, a strong advanced English level for everyone. Okay, good. So, I start feeling really optimistic. So optimistic or positive, so you believe that you'll have a good future. What should I do to increase my vocabulary? So what should I do to make my vocabulary larger? To answer this question, I'd like to hear something from you. Okay? So I mean your background. So your background, a very nice word. So what is it? So as you might know, or maybe you know it, as you might know, it's about your past experience or your previous experience, so experience which you had earlier, or in the past, skills and so on. So what you can do, skills and so on. So I need to know something about you, yeah, to give you a really good recommendations or good advice. Okay, so okay, as it has already been said, it's a very nice structure. It means that I have already said it, but it's in passive voice, present perfect passive voice. It has already been said. So we use present perfect because of already. As it has already been said, it means that okay, so as I have already said it, or as it has already been said, I know about 2,000 or 3,000 English words. Okay, so I took a list of 6,000 English words and tried to learn it. Okay, so I think that maybe you also tried, yeah, to learn a list of English words. Yeah, it's interesting to know about it. And so I have a question for you. How was it? How was it? So did it work? So did you learn all these words? I was absolutely happy. It means I was very, very happy but only in the beginning. As 90% of those words, as means because 99% of those words were familiar to me. It means that I knew those words, they weren't new for me, they weren't unknown for me, so okay, so I knew those words. Then, or after that, more and more difficult words were appearing. So really I saw very difficult words more and more, which was often leading to a splitting headache. So which was often leading to. So lead to, it means that I had it. I had it as a result. As a result, I had it, a splitting headache. So we can say terrible headache, but splitting, it sounds strong, a splitting headache. So it's such a terrible headache. It was such a terrible headache, splitting. So it was unbearable. Unbearable means I couldn't bear it. So I couldn't tolerate it. So it was unbearable. Okay, and I got fed up. I got fed up with this learning method. So fed up with, it means that I got really bored. I got really bored with it. So it became very boring for me, and okay, and that's enough, or that was enough. So I didn't want to continue learning like that any longer. So that was enough. I was fed up. I was fed up. It was unbearable. Okay, so really, and maybe we can say I can't stand this method. Okay. It means I hate this method. Okay, and what can I say? It's quite understandable. It means that it's easy to understand it. It's quite understandable. So no surprising at all. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. So maybe you were thinking, okay, so he'll be greatly surprised, but no surprising at all. So, and I want to tell you something more. So there are two major problems. Students face, or students have, very nice phrase. So two major problems, or two biggest problems, so the most important problems students face or students have, and you also need to be aware of it, and you also need to know it, or to be aware of it. Personally, I don't trust these lists. Personally, it means if you want to know my opinion, I don't trust these lists. It means that I don't think that these lists of English words are really good. Just it's my idea. So not all of them are really good. The problem is that many of these words are not for daily use, and unnecessary, really. So I looked at some lists, and I think that's actually not good. So I wasn't satisfied at all. And you need a reliable source. You really need a reliable source. So a source which you can rely on. So you need to trust this source and to be sure that this source is really good. So this list of English words is really good, and it can lead you to a result you really want, or you really intend to get, or you're going to get. Okay, so I think that's clear. Okay, well done. So secondly, or the second thing, if you're going to learn this or that list without examples, so just words, a list of words, it's absolutely ridiculous. So it's such a bad thing, such a terrible thing, it's ridiculous. So it's absurd. So actually there is no reason for doing it. Okay, honestly, so I want to be honest with you, honestly, I consider it a huge waste of time. So I think it's a huge waste of time, a very big waste of time. So there is no point in doing it. There is no point. It's useless. So you can have a look at our great video, 2000 English words with examples, or 2500 English words with examples. Please have a look. And keep in mind two things. So please have it in your mind, So you need examples, and you need appropriate words, but not inappropriate. Appropriate means common words, popular words, but not inappropriate, not uncommon words. It's what you need, So it's a problem of many English of many lists of English words. So yeah, so we have just talked about it. Okay, so however, don't think these lists, these lists of words will solve all your problems immediately. Okay, don't solve. Yes, it's good, but don't think so it's the only right way, is the only solution. No, simply enough. So it's a good phrase, yeah, for speaking. It means it's a simple thing, simple enough. It won't work this way. It won't work this way. So these lists, yeah, these lists can be perfect for revision, but not for learning from scratch. It means that these lists can be very good. So if you know these words and you just want to revise some words, maybe you know 90%, 95%, it's good for revision, but not for learning. If from the beginning or from scratch, from zero, okay, not scratch, from scratch, if you know nothing, yeah, I just know, but some students think, okay, just I'll take this list of words, 3,000, just I'll make cards and I'll remember everything and I'll know English in 10 days. No, it doesn't work this way. Why? Why do people think so? It's an illusion, it's a myth. So you need to use other techniques. So what are you talking about? Okay, what are you talking about? Please listen. I'm going to tell you one phenomenal thing. One phenomenal, it means very, very important thing, and this thing is of great importance, and it's like a discovery. It's like a discovery, it's like a scientific discovery, it's a very big discovery. So to remember English words, you need to listen to them in context. Yes, a very important thing, to listen to them in context. Reading is good. Reading is good, yeah, but without listening, it's 5 or 10 times less effective. Yeah, it's 5 or 10 times less effective. And it's what we are doing right now. So we are listening, yeah, we are listening, you are listening to it, and you are reading. It's 5 or 10 times more effective, I believe so. Yeah, if you want to remember it, yeah. So it's a memory of your ears, and not only your eyes. It's a very important thing, and you see actually and you hear the correct pronunciation, and it will be in your memory much longer. Okay, so how can it be? All right, I'll say it more precisely, or I'll say it more exactly. So more precisely, more exactly, I'll give you more information, I'll give you more details so that you can understand it really well. Okay, so just imagine this situation. You read some conversations for intermediate students and you translate it, yeah, and you translate some words, okay? And you're absolutely certain, or you're absolutely sure that all these words and phrases will be in your memory, but you'll have to change your mind. It means that you'll have to, it's like, it's like must in the future, but you'll change your idea, you'll change your point of view when days, weeks and months pass. It means that later you'll understand that this method doesn't work. Yeah, when you translate new words, you're sure, okay, just I know these words, I'll remember them, but then time passes, yeah, and you try to remember words, phrases, but it's so difficult and it's often impossible. And you know that you're likely to forget. It means that really you'll forget most of these extremely useful words and phrases. So really you'll forget most of these extremely useful words and phrases if you only read them. There is one more thing which is bound to happen, right? You haven't misheard me. It's certain to happen. So, these phrases are similar. So you can say bound to happen or certain to happen. It means the same. It means that these things will definitely happen. So they will happen, and I'm sure that these things will happen. And you haven't misheard me. It means that, so actually, or you heard this information and don't think that this information isn't right, don't think that this information isn't correct. No, this information is good, is reliable, you can trust this information. So I understand what I'm talking about. I'm not a crazy person, just I control my words, I control my speech, and so I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's certain to happen. Yeah, a very important thing, you will never be able, it's, you know, it's like can in the future, you will never be able to use all this vocabulary in your speaking effectively. Yeah, a very important thing. Okay, so if you just read something, okay, maybe you'll remember some words, but it'll be very, very difficult, it will be very, very problematic, it'll be a big problem for you if you want, actually, if you are serious about, I mean, learning English effectively and improving your speaking skills. So you won't be able to remember it while speaking. So only reading isn't good. So you need to listen. And few students understand it really well. So yeah, so I don't know why. Okay. So, and what are you talking about? What are you talking about, really? I mean that if you really want to learn English words, so I mean that it means that I want to tell you, yeah. So what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. If you really want to learn English words, you need to use them in your speech, writing. So in your speech, writing, very important things. And you also need to listen to them. Not only reading, but listening a lot to English words in context. So speech, writing, and listen, but listening a lot to English words in context is a crucial point in terms of your understanding. Okay, so is a crucial point means the most important point, the most important thing. It's a crucial point, the most important thing, okay, in terms of your understanding. In terms of means actually, if we are talking about your level of understanding, so concerning in terms of your understanding or concerning your understanding, okay, so in terms of, so you are talking about it in terms of your understanding, so you need to focus on it. Okay, so good. Only listening. What about reading? How can I learn all these 20,000 English words? Well, you need to do the following. You need to do the following, or you need to do these things. We need to read and listen to it at the same time. So don't read, yeah, don't read only, don't read only books, without, you know, some MP3 files or some audio files. Don't do it, just read and listen, okay? So at the same time, so read and listen at the same time, and, you know, different texts, conversations, topic, and translate these words, Very important to translate these words, okay? I mean that if you read them not in the original, adapted texts, conversations, topics, yeah, that's for English learners. Alright, so good. What you also need to do is the following. So you need to write down these words, okay? So you see new words, yeah, you translate these words, and you need to write down these words and revise them from time to time. Yeah, so write down. So if you, for example, see a new word, for example, so maybe this one, so bound or certain to happen, so you need to write it down. You need to have, you need to keep a vocabulary notebook, and you need to write down all these words and to look at it and to look through these words from time to time. So it's a very good method, yeah, and revise them from time to time. So please write down all new words, all new phrases, and look through it from time to time. Yes, it's good, but don't write down only words, or not only words. You need to have examples, so please write down examples. So you need to have examples before your eyes. Yeah, really, because it's very important during the revision. Okay, so you can say maybe, I did the following. So I read without listening, and I didn't keep a vocabulary notebook. Okay, so I read without listening and I didn't keep a vocabulary notebook. So I mean that it means that, okay, so you read, but maybe you translated, but you didn't take notes, you didn't write it down, so not so effective. And I believe it's ineffective. So it isn't effective. So you didn't do three most important things, yeah? And you can ask, okay, you may ask, what are these things? So you didn't listen to all these text, conversations, and topics. Yeah, you know, we talked about it. So you need to read and listen, not only reading if you really want to remember these words, okay? Listen, you need to listen to all these words, and yeah, it's the first thing. The second thing, you didn't write. You didn't write down your important words and you didn't revise them. It's also a very important thing. Just, yeah, please do it. Don't think it's unimportant. It's very important. So write down your words and your phrases and look through actually your vocabulary notebook from time to time. Please revise it and you'll remember it much better. And third, you didn't listen to these materials again while doing other things as a background. It means that you didn't listen to these materials again. For example, yeah? So you think that this lesson is quite good, yeah? No problem. Just write down your words and your phrases, then get back to it after a while or after some time. Just listen to it again or watch it again. And okay, you'll say, okay, I have no free time, no problem. But I'm not telling you that you need just, you know, to sit on your chair and just to listen to it. You can do other things. So while doing other things, you can do other things and listen to these videos, to this playlist as a background. So no problem, and try to understand. So it's a really important thing, and if you didn't do it, so I believe it's ineffective, and it was ineffective. Okay, so you know, I can't get it. I can use this method and I expect to learn 5,000 English words or maybe 7,000, but why 20,000? But why 20,000? A good question. I'll explain it to you. When you know more words and you know 10,000 English words or a little bit more, you can focus on listening real English, not simplified. So it's a real problem. So if you don't know many words, you can't listen to real English. So you can't turn on the radio, or you can't start, watching some programs in English. So without translation, without subtitles, so you can't understand. Maybe you can understand the main idea 50%, but it's too little. You need to understand minimum 95%. But if you know this number of words, so if you use our tips, our recommendations, if you follow these tips, so you can focus on listening, yeah. So you need to listen more and more, real English speech, and not simplified, okay? So you'll be able to understand a lot from the context, while listening in contrast to other students who focus mostly on grammar and reading. Yeah, so you'll be able to understand a lot. It means that it will be possible for you to understand a lot. Okay, so you'll be able to understand a lot of many things from the context while listening. So you know that teachers often say, okay, so read more and you will understand many new words from the context. And I can tell you, yes, that's a good idea. But you need to listen more, not only reading. And my idea is the following. So you need to learn more English words and you need to listen more. And to understand English context from the context, but not reading context, but listening context, okay? In contrast to other students. So it means that other students do the opposite thing, yeah? They focus mostly on grammar and reading. So maybe they know many English words, but they can't understand. They can't understand real English speech, and as a result, their progress is very slow. Okay, but it isn't your case, or it won't be your case, it won't be your situation if you follow these tips. Okay, what are the recommendations can you give? So to sum up, or in conclusion, it's the following. So to make the process of learning English words easier and more enjoyable, so that you can enjoy it. So to learn really 20,000 English words or more. So learn English words in context for different levels. It's a very important thing. So don't learn only difficult materials. Learn them step by step. So simple, then more difficult, and so on. Learn English words in groups. For example, words about money, words about environment, words about job, and so on. It's also a good idea, but for different levels. In context for different levels. Next, you can revise some lists of English words with examples for revision. So you know that we have this list, 2000 English words, 2500 English words. That's a good idea. If you're really keen on reading, so it means that if you really like reading and you don't want to listen to it, so it's okay to, that you can, or maybe you can only read, but listen to what you read is an advantage. So it's desirable, okay? So it's desirable to read and listen, not only reading. But if you maybe don't want, to listen to this or that story, text for some reason, okay, no problem, just read is better than nothing, okay? Next, watch movies or TV series with subtitles when your level gets higher, or without subtitles. But the main idea is that you need to start doing it. So when your level gets high, first do it with subtitles. So, and when you're actually become absolutely sure, yeah, and you'll have a good English level, very good English level, advanced, so you won't need subtitles because you'll be able to understand without them. Okay, next, good. So watch more educational programs, not only movies, yeah, to make your vocabulary really large. The problem is that the vocabulary you meet in movies, in TV series, is rather limited in contrast to many educational programs. So actually, you need to have a wide range of vocabulary, but not a very primitive, vocabulary. Well, and learn grammar books for different levels too. Why? So they are full of lots of new interesting words. Do you know this fact? That really grammar books are full of lots of new interesting words. They contain lots of difficult words too. Next, speak more on various topics. Yeah, it's a very important thing. When students communicate, so they often have a conversation like this. Okay, how are you? Where are you from? So what are you doing? But it's a very primitive language. So I mean that if you are really serious about improving your English greatly, so you need to talk on different topics or on various topics. Yeah, you need to practice different vocabulary, grammar structures, and so on. And please try to use different vocabulary with more advanced speakers. It's also very important. So improve your level and so find more advanced speakers too, so that you can learn from them. So you don't need to pay. You can learn English for free. That's true, and we can't say no. That's not true. It's really true. And it's really a good idea. Well, what's next? So when you read something or listen to something, yeah, also pay attention to English phrases. So pay attention to it means also actually have a look at these English phrases, try to analyze them, to understand why they use this or that English phrase or collocation. It's like a special English phrase which you need to memorize, phrasal verbs, English grammar structures, maybe idioms, but not only words, Yeah, so you can learn 20,000 English words, but it isn't enough. You need to focus more on things like, these ones, yeah? Not only words to understand what this or that sentence really means. So pay attention, please, to different English phrases, okay? And last but not least, means, so the last thing, but don't think that it's a very unimportant thing. So, okay, although it's in the end, or it's at the end of the lesson, so watch more videos on the channel English Professionally. And my friends, I think it's a good idea. So, and it's a good way, yeah? It's a good way, so we are on the right way, and really we've learned lots of new interesting things, information, and we're also improving our English greatly. So really, I'm very glad that I have this chance, that I think this opportunity, and okay, I'd like to thank you for your support and for this opportunity. Okay, thanks a lot for this opportunity. Okay, thank you very much. So you can read 50 pages a day, an hour, very easily. Yeah, very easily. You can read 50 pages an hour very easily. Really, if you read a lot, if you have the skill, and if you know all these words, no problem. So it's very easy. Okay? And please also train your reading skills. It's so important. Okay? And it's a real challenge for me I mean, it's really difficult for me. It's a real challenge for me, but I'll try to improve these skills. So I'll try to improve these reading skills. Yeah, I really hope we are on the right way, but let me continue. Let me continue. So, what is 6? Start preparing for some international exams. So, have you ever thought about it? Really, have you ever thought about it? You just, okay, maybe you think, okay, I need to learn English, so I have some books, textbooks, and so, but just think differently. Really, think differently. Start preparing for some international exams and find them. So know some information about them, and it's a great challenge. So I mean, it's a great challenge. It's really difficult, but it's so useful. So it can help you a lot. And thanks to it, really thanks to it or because of it, you'll be constantly measuring your level and judging about it objectively. So constantly means all the time. Measuring, it means that you'll see your level. You'll see your level. So yeah, so the problem is that actually, if you look at this situation, you can think, oh, maybe my level is high, maybe my level is low, and you don't know it, yeah? But I mean that just do some, some papers, we call it sample papers. So look at this exam, so do some papers about reading, grammar, listening, and see your real level, okay, and judging about it objectively, not subjectively but objectively. So you really need to understand what your level is, so you can see it, then you learn English very hard, and then you'll get back to it after some time, and you'll see your level again, so you'll see improvement. So if you have it, so it's so important. If you don't have it, you are likely to get stuck. So you're likely to, it means that I think that you'll get stuck, yeah? So it can really happen. It can get stuck, it means that you will stop and you won't have, won't means will not, you won't have this level, and it's a sad fact, not very unpleasant thing, okay? So you'll get stuck, you'll stop, so it's the most important thing, okay? Well, I see. I have this aim now, and what should I do next? What other things or what other steps should I take? Yeah, we say take steps. So second, focus on vocabulary. Can you answer one simple question? What's the main difference between an upper intermediate student and an advanced student? Really, do you know the difference between, the main difference between these two levels? Do you know it? So it's grammar? Grammar? No, it's vocabulary. So try to have a very rich vocabulary like native speakers have. Not just like native speakers, okay? Just like educated native speakers have, okay? Anything else? Sure. We can't deny the fact. So it means that this fact so really exists, and we can't say that it isn't so. Yeah, so it's really true that many students are able to read, but they are terrible at speaking and understanding native speakers, okay? So really, so many students can read, yeah, maybe they know some grammar, but they are terrible at, it means they're very bad at speaking, so they can't speak, so their speaking skills aren't good enough, they're terrible, and they can't understand. It's, it's a real problem, and so they feel very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable situation, okay? So, the next points are the following. So you need to speak English daily. Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this lesson is really very important. So 10 secrets how to reach an advanced level, okay? So thanks a lot for your support, for likes, shares and comments, so it's really very important, okay? I like it a lot, okay? And so, are you ready? I hope so. So I'm absolutely delighted to see you. Okay, I'm absolutely delighted to see you means that I'm really glad to see you. I'm so lucky that you found time for our conversation. I really want to have an advanced level in English, and I want to do it as soon as possible. It means very quickly, or I think it's a normal wish. Okay? Thank you. You just need to know a special technique how to do it. So there are 10 secrets which really work. Okay? Good. You make me feel so interested. So you make me feel so interested. It means that it's very interesting for me, and it's because of you. Okay? What's your English level? It's between elementary and intermediate. So not elementary and not intermediate, between these levels. Okay, I see. Would you like to have an advanced level? Okay, would you like to have an advanced level? Well, honestly, it means that I want to be honest, so it's what I think. I don't really know. I just want to speak English well, and I understand other people. It's what I really want to happen in my life. Want to happen, it means that I really want it in my life. I really want it in my life, yeah? So I got your point, or I understood your idea. I understood your point. So get means understand, and point means idea. I understood your idea. Thanks for your perfect explanation. So perfect, and listen to it a lot, please. Speak English every day. Please do it. So you think, okay, I can't do it, so I don't know friends who can speak English. No problem. Find these friends. Where can I find it? So you can think online. So there are so many websites where you can find it. It isn't a problem nowadays. It isn't a problem. Please do it. So find a friend or friends and, practice English with them and listen to it a lot. So listen to English speech a lot, okay? How much should I listen? 1 or 2 hours? Why is it so little? You can do it all day while being occupied with other things. Really, it's little. 1 or 2 hours, it's good, but not good enough for good progress, okay? So you need to get this level fast. Just listen more, okay? So when you do other things, you can listen, yeah, to English speech. So next, very important thing, and so read a lot and have a plan. So the second part of the sentence is very important. Read a lot and have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? Very important thing. So have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? And I'll give you an example from my life. Yeah. So you know, when I really wanted to improve my English, I read 100 pages a day in English. Yeah. And I felt great progress. Yeah. So 100 pages a day in English, yes, and I felt great progress. So be a fast reader, okay? And you can say, oh, it seems incredible, so it means that it's difficult to believe it, I can't believe it. And then you can add, oh, I don't have so much time, and I will answer, it's little time. If you train, train these skills, you need to train these skills. And lots of English words, yeah? We talked about it earlier. Very good. So you explained it very well, and you said it very well, and I understand it very well too, very clearly. I really look up to your enthusiasm and zeal, okay? Look up to means that I really admire it. So that's great. That's great that you have this enthusiasm, that you are so enthusiastic, and zeal, your energy. So your energy, okay? So, but there is an obstacle. Which you might not see. Obstacle means problem or difficulty which you might not see. Okay, so yeah, so there is a problem, and maybe you don't understand that there is this problem, or that this problem exists. Okay, what are you talking about? Well, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. It means that I'll say it as it is, or I'll say it directly. Okay, so the first secret is that you need to have a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. I mean an advanced level, yeah. So the secret is very simple. So you need to have this aim. Okay, so the first secret is that you need to have an aim, right? So I mean to achieve, okay, to achieve an advanced level, so you need to have this aim first of all, and what? And as I said, and a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. So you need to have this aim. So if you don't have this aim, so you won't achieve it. So okay, it's the first secret. It's the first secret to have this aim. It's so important. So please set an aim and work out a clear strategy. So work out or have a clear strategy. It's in the first place.